Auditing, a Management Tool. By Oscar Rodriguez Gonzalez. The ideas presented in this video are the result of conversations at the Food and Beverage Technology Summit in San Salvador, and in the Quality Systems Auditing course at Lambton College in Toronto. The history of auditing can be described in parallel to the history of quality management. Dennis Arter, an auditing guru, has described the evolution of auditing from product inspection, to process assurance, to evaluating the results of a system, to what is now expected, evaluation of all the forms of risk in an enterprise. This latest idea complements our previous discussions on systems integration for management efficiency. It also reinforces the concept that auditors are required to analyze risk holistically, and think systematically. From a business perspective, the most common question about auditing may be costing. If we look into the four categories of costs of quality, auditing is typically considered an appraisal cost. As a reminder, we classify quality costs to visualize the various categories of spending and make improvements based on these metrics. The ideal enterprise should not be spending in failures, and the spending on appraisal costs should be minimized by incorporating the controls in the product design. Audits can be classified in several ways. Based on the relationship between the auditor and the auditee, audits can be first-party, second-party, or third-party. First-party audits are also called internal audits, and in this case the auditor is employed by the audited company. Second-party audits are audits conducted by a customer in a supplier. In this case the auditor is external, but there is a business relationship between the two auditing parties. Third-party audits are audits conducted by a group specialized in auditing. The auditing group is contracted by a client to get a second opinion of the current status of the target enterprise. The advantage of having an external auditor that specializes in certain topic is that he is aware of the current trends in management of the topic being evaluated. Based on the audit target, audits can range from product, to processes, to systems. The next level after systems is supply chains, but these are more difficult to audit, and are generally limited to evaluating data. Another way to classify audits is based on the content of the audit material, and this can be divided in two main types: performance and compliance. Performance audits may also be called improvement audits, and compliance audits may also be called certification audits or inspections. Product audits are typically conducted to evaluate specific characteristics of the product, like sanitary design or energy efficiency in machines, and organic, non-GMO status, or gluten-free status in food products. The certified products, or companies, are usually listed in a database for easy reference, and facilitate future supply chain integration. An example of process audits is the evaluation of hazard analysis and critical control points plans in food safety management. In this application, one hazard analysis and critical control points plan should be developed for each processing line, then hazards associated to each step, control measures implemented for these hazards, and critical control points established to prioritize their management. The ideal auditor of these processes should have a good knowledge of food processing, hazards, control measures, their limits, monitoring systems, and information management. System audits may consist of auditing a program like the Audit Program Management System that certification bodies need to implement to manage the auditing services. The requirements for this type of program management system are described in ISO 19011, Guidelines for Auditing Management Systems. Third-party audits are generally arranged between a client, who has a direct relationship with the auditee, and a certification body, who is a contractor of qualified auditors. The auditing process usually consists of three major activities: preparation and planning, performance, and reporting and follow-up. The first and the last step are usually desk work, and require office management skills. Conducting the audit requires technical skills in collecting evidence. According to the Global Food Safety Initiative, there are three types of skills that an auditor must have: people, technical, and systems thinking. The most important skill for auditing people may be interviewing, or communicating to gather evidence. This interaction requires understanding basic psychology to reduce stress by building rapport, and reading nonverbal clues to confirm the veracity of the statements. Technical skills may include the use of the five senses to evaluate product, equipment, and facilities, and the use of checklists and other reference and data collection tools like traceability and systems mapping. The most important skills when working with people may be interviewing, or communicating to gather evidence. Systems thinking requires understanding parts and relationships. These parts and relationships will be limited to a boundary like a processing system or a management system. The ideal auditor should be able to evaluate each part separately and understand how its failure will affect the entire system. A useful approach to organize evidence to facilitate systematic problem solving is to use the root cause analysis tool called Ishikawa diagram or fishbone diagram. This analysis tool organizes the causes of problems in 6 major categories: method, machine, measurement, man, or people, materials, and Mother Nature, or the environment. Organizing evidence using this method makes the identification of the areas of improvement more efficient. This approach can be also used for prevention. For example, the assessment of the various causes of problems can be facilitated by determining if equipment meets sanitary design criteria, laboratory analysis meet good laboratory practices, like ISO 17025, personnel meets qualification criteria, materials come from suppliers that meet specifications, and methods have been scientifically proven to be effective. One of the future trends that is being discussed in quality groups is remote auditing. Auditing ideally should be done by a team of experts, because more people reduce personal bias, and brings more evidence collectors to the scene. The problem with mobilizing a team are the logistics in traveling arrangements, and managing people during the audit. By conducting audits remotely, this problem may be solved, but there are some technical challenges that still need to be worked out to make this innovation a reality. Some of the challenges may include technical capabilities in both auditing parties, and the trust between the auditor and the auditee for reporting the real evidence. For now, this is a dream that may be implemented more easily in a first-party or second-party audit. If you have any questions, or would like to have a conversation about this topic, feel free to contact us.